Hello, welcome back. This is Sarah and Annabelle here. We are going to talk a little bit about your spiritual job. You know, we have a job as a human we do here, and we have a job as a soul that we're doing here on the planet. But there's a part of us, our greater self, our higher selves, that's out there doing all kinds of amazing things, mostly while we're asleep. I started thinking about this. I was inspired to talk about this because I had this incredible long Twitter conversation with a wonderful woman. Don't know her name. She's just got a handle. But at any rate, we were sort of talking about some of the experiences we had. It started off with, I can see these little zippy things in the air now. Like we were talking about how our senses had changed, our bodies had changed. She said her collarbone has gotten like an inch bigger, and your sense of smell is different, and your sense of sight is different. And I've only ever known two people who can see the little air elementals that I've been watching for years. And she said, "Oh no, I see those too." I'm like, "Oh my God, another one, great!" And then some other people came onto the thread and was like, "I see those too. I started seeing them about 2 years ago." I was like, God, that's so great, because it's so hard when you're the only person who sees something and everybody's going, right, you see it, hearing voices too, my dear, right? So that was an exciting conversation. And then we started talking about it sort of led to what are you doing? What is your job out there, your big cosmic job? And I said that I was working to create the template for the new Earth, and basically to help anchor it here, because I've done lots of taking people there. I take on guided meditations. I'll put a link to that if you'd like to do it. It's on my website. It's free. And go to the new Earth and experience what it's like there, and it's lovely. And then you receive a gift from there, whatever is given to you, and you bring that back, and it becomes an anchor so that the path we take to get to the new Earth, which is obviously not a physical path, but whatever that physical path represents is that connection. And so it's easier to bring that energy in or to go and be there, and also allows that to be anchored here so we can install that template here, which is what we're doing. And she said, what she said was very interesting. She said her job, I'm going to read it because it's like, what? To reverse solar system alchemy spells to help bring the Great Awakening. I'm like, that sounds interesting. So she's been all around the solar system and finding what she called alchemy spells and adjusting them, because she said they've been...
Who makes the spells?
She didn't say that specifically.
Okay.
I mean, I imagine where my mind went with that is that would probably be non-physical negative beings, like maybe the archons or something like that.
Let's block this little bit over here and let's prevent that happening over here.
Or let's take this little powerful alchemical symbol and let's just distort it a little bit so it's not powerful anymore. They can't use it.
Right.
And so I asked her, well, how do you experience that? And she said, find trinkets across time and space and transmute them. Assist trapped individuals, recover false timelines, and heal and clear planets. And as I read it, I got an image in my mind, which is what sometimes people can do this when you're communicating. You can send pictures, which is what animals do, right? Especially mine.
Bone, Sarah, bone.
Dinner. She'll go right into my face and squinty eyes. Is like, okay. And she'll, when I'm hungry, she'll come over to me and put her paw on me and go,
"You gotta eat
food." I'm like, oh, you're right. I'm hungry. I need to eat, because I have a tendency not to eat very much. But I got the total image of this, and we can't grok with our minds what it is. So our mind turns it into a symbol or something we can handle, and I saw, oh, trinkets. So she's seeing some kind of energetic pattern and can see where it's out of cohesion or imperfect or been messed with, and fix it. And I just thought, oh yeah. And I saw, the same way that I've been playing with a planet, the new Earth planet, she's doing other planets. Oh, that's really cool. So what kind of things are you doing? Do you know what you're out there doing when you think you're really just sleeping?
Oh, well, I know I'm not sleeping. There are times, there are times when I wake up and I'm totally exhausted. Like I know that I've been asleep, but I haven't been here. I'm not kind of aware what's going on, but I know that I've been doing a lot. And so that's okay. I'm kind of getting used to that now. But other things have come through a number of different times. I seem to go on missions, exciting missions, where I might have to change the past. Or other times where, I remember a very clear one where I had finished the mission, so I don't even know what it was. And I was meant to go to a portal to be picked up, but I got distracted by the wrong people who were trying to get me into their spaceship or something. And they all looked like that first guy in the very first Men in Black movie, like a human that had been stuffed with the wrong entity. And they were trying to serve me foods that looked like they might have seen a human plate of dinner from the top and go, oh, yeah, that's what human food looks like. And they tried to replicate it for me. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is so disgusting. Like, French fries that were flat, like 2D, like almond slivers, But they were the shape of chips, as I would call them, but they were not 3D. They were flat, like pieces of cardboard, And I'm like,
right.
Oh. And they're like, oh, are you going to eat that? They obviously heard that saying as well, which I would never use. And I'm like, no, you can have it. And then this little camera coming rushing in, and we were all sitting around this table, and I just couldn't eat this food because it was not real food. And they were looking at this little camera. It was moving so fast, and all of us were stuck suddenly. And it was looking in the eye of the person sort of 3 down the line, and read who was inside it, and then destroyed the body. And the body just kind of went, oh, and then, decomposing or something. And everybody else is sitting there like, oh my God, it's my turn coming. And it was happening so fast, I thought, even I can't move. What am I going to do? And then it got in front of me, and it looked right straight in, and then it moved on. And it did the same so all these people around the table were not like me. And so once it had passed me, I could move again, and I kind of got up from the table. I'm just going to go now.
I'm just going to quietly exit.
Yeah, so I realised that I had actually taken the wrong ship, and I had to go outside and wait for my portal to open again. I'd taken the wrong turning. So things like that, learning how to change the past. I remember a little thing in there. And the only way I could picture that was like putting a bent ribbon down inside a pipe. You're not allowed to touch the sides. It's like playing Operation Game. You put it down. You've got to be so accurate, and you just touch the one thing you need to change in the past, and then you lift the ribbon back out again as carefully as you can, so you don't disturb anything else. Very, very important. That was interesting. So I remember waking up going, "Oh, right. Oh. What was that about?"
Yeah. Did you have the experience of like right when you wake up, it's like you understand it, and then as you wake up more and more and more,
it dissolves.
It comes down just to the little image that your waking brain can comprehend.
Yeah, which is really annoying because I'd love to be able to remember it. I suppose I'm not meant to be, telling everybody about it, so they dissolve it until
But there's a couple of reasons. Yeah, not yet, and one of them is we're here, on a focused mission. And we need to stay on that and not be distracted by
telling everybody
that other aspect of ourselves.
Right.
It's like that time when I said, if I could see, if the programming that prevents me from seeing what's really in the sky, like spaceships and life forces and stuff like that, what would I see? And I looked up, and it was absolutely full. And I was like, whoa, Jesus, that's crazy. Like, okay, I don't need to see that. It's sort of like
take it back
overwhelming.
Out. Yeah, a little bit at a time. Yeah, your friend saying rescuing individuals as well. I know I've done that. I did that in a meditation though. It wasn't when I was dreaming. Someone who'd committed suicide, and they were in the grey zone. And I explained this to the channeler who does Mercury, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I've heard of the grey zone." I thought, okay. There you go. And I had to try all these different methods to try and convince her to come with me to lead her out of there and lead her into the blue sky, instead of being in this space that had no furniture, walls, floor, ceiling. It was just, the whole thing was grey, kind of like the original Macintosh screen. It was exactly 50% tint. It was just grey and nothing else. And she was lying in fetal position on nothing, So with the talk going in her head that had caused her to take her life. So I was like, wow, okay. All right. So, yeah, just little snippets along the way of things to do, and not one specific thing. Like I said to you, I'm still not sure what the one specific thing is.
Right.
But
yeah.
Lots of little bits.
It's amazing. I mean, I dream a lot, and in color and detail. I dream whole movies and old books and things like that. I like being asleep most of the time. Yeah. I'm also been had a lot of nightmares. Every night in my childhood, I had nightmares, and they were almost always a tsunami. But I think I may have bypassed. I may be on a different timeline than that.
Unless you were there at the same time.
See, is it a memory, or why would I need to keep remembering it over and over again? But almost always, I'm trying to organize people, get up, higher ground, and then I'm leading a group that survives the tsunami. But the second reason I think we don't remember is how do I phrase this? It's kind of good to not appear to be super powerful when there's a lot of negative forces that still have a lot of power.
Yeah. And that's why I'm thinking even with this YouTube channel, when at the moment we have so few subscribers, right? We keep doing it. We know we're meant to be doing this, but it's okay to be small fry at the moment. I think that's okay. Because the ones that are standing up and building their big following, they're just getting bashed a lot. And I think that's exhausting. That is rather exhausting.
Yeah. Well, I've had a little bit of a bashing. I started to grow my business a while back, got pretty successful, and next thing you know, Twitter kicked me off because I put links in my tweets. No consequences. You're just no longer allowed to use Twitter. Right. And then,
and that was early.
My website went away, and I mean, the server on which my site was hosted went away. The whole thing. It was just like gone, no way to retrieve it. I had to start all over and rebuild it. Luckily, by that time, WordPress had come around, so it was, the tools to do it were a lot easier. But I guess it's okay not. I don't need to be big. It's not. I sort of like. I think also my job has changed. It's sort of like we were talking about before, about, there was a point in time when we were both needed to look into the dark side of child abuse and all that stuff. There was a certain job we were doing there, transmit that, handle that. We don't just have one job.
Maybe we've got a list to do. We're ticking off the list.
Yeah. And then once the event happens, a solar flash, then you don't have to limit that stuff anymore. I mean, I think it's going to be great. All these, the memories will come back. That's right. That's what I was doing. You'll be going, now I know what that was.
Thank God, now I know. Oh.
Now I know. Oh my God. No wonder I was so tired. Jeez, and here's what I'm doing going forward. I really think that we are heading toward no longer having the separation between human soul, whatever, and higher self, oversoul. I think we're going to be living as that. And I had that Twitter conversation. We were sort of talking about that a bit as well. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's already starting." I mean, I feel like it's like the human part isn't just going, "Well, what should I do? What should I do?" I was just like, "Oh, what is the choice here? Oh, that's what it is. Go." It's like she still has sort of a sense that there's a separation in that, but she feels like it's not the, "Oh God, have you ever had the experience of, oh, come on, guide yourself. What am I supposed to do? Landru, guide me." But it's not that's changed. And I've experienced that as well. It's not reaching out to something else, but it's just if
you'll find it
question's asked, the answer comes.
Yeah. When you are on the right track, it just flows. It flows. If you're finding, oh, I know, when I was explaining to you about the job that I've been doing for a while, getting suddenly quite a lot of resistance. And I was thinking,
You're talking about human job.
Human job. That, well, yeah, because human jobs can be, we have, don't just put up with a job that you hate, you know, you've got to go for something that is enjoyable right now anyway before all that, because we don't know when that flash is going to happen. So you've got to occupy yourself with something right now. But if it doesn't feel right, if you're pushing against a wall, then turn a little bit and move, and you'll find that when you're on the right track and it feels good and everything flows and everything falls into place, then you know you're stepping in the right direction. So don't keep hitting the wall because you've been told that persistence will always win. Just forget that, you know. God, whoever thought that was a good idea, really. You know, bend it. Move with the water, flow with the water,
and be willing to change.
Yeah,
you know,
be open-minded. It may have nothing to do with money. It may have just because this job here is not people don't earn so much money or have as much status or power. It's not cool to do that job. Forget it. Just go where the flow feels right.
That's a tough one. You know, if you're like us, a single parent. It's not always that easy to just go, oh, no, I don't need a job that pays. You know, I don't need to make money.
Yeah, well, really, in theory, every job should be paying minimum wage that is enough to cover your bills. That's how the world should be run. And we are out of balance in that at the moment. So some people are doing their job that they love and they have to do another job as well to cover the bills because their job is not valued enough.
A lot of people are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not talking about being paid a minimum wage in the way the Green New Deal. It doesn't work if we're still in the old system where trillions of dollars. I mean, in the climate accord thing, I mean, literally there was opportunity for trillions of dollars to flow into the people who made up this shit, and that's our money. You know that's where our money's going. It's going into secret space programs. It's going into like pay for play kinds of stuff. You know, where people who have security clearances and power are basically selling that. I mean, who's going to pay Bill Clinton $500,000 to make a 45-minute speech? It's just not really that valuable. I mean, especially now because think back. I mean, she can't even sell her books.
They're all on sale. Yeah.
98 cents, you know. And then, she's not continuing her speak. They're not. They've canceled their speaking tour for health reasons or something. Yeah, just like nobody was there. So their time will come when it will be possible. It's not normal or natural outside of this reality for people to be poor and struggling and have this whole money thing making them into debt slaves. That is going to end. Boy, that'll be a relief, won't it?
Oh my goodness. There'll be like the hugest party on earth when that is resolved. And it will have to be done globally at the same time. You can't do it in one country first. You can't. You have to do it everywhere. There have been countries that have been used as guinea pigs, like Iceland, because there's only a few 100,000 people in that country. And New Zealand was also used, like they were the first country to get EFTPOS and the first country to get electronic banking. So they do guinea pig things in smaller countries, but when the whole thing needs to be changed at once. You can't also give universal basic income to one country, and because then immigrants would storm it, that's where we want to live because we know that they'll look after us. It's got to be everywhere, and everybody, all the companies getting taxed the same way throughout the world. You've got to get them all together.
I think the system is going to be so different than we can't even imagine it.
And maybe,
I remember we talked about a couple of shows ago that those people that I saw talking about how the system's already set up, just waiting for the right time. That they've been working on it. Yeah. So it's good things are coming. I mean, it's been a long haul. I mean, this life has been a long life, and
while we're in it,
many lifetimes.
Yeah. Once we get out of it, we'll see it's really just a little tiny spot on the landscape.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but just sort of like you can feel it coming now. You know,
We're
you've
so
been
close.
working hard all year, and your vacation is just a few weeks away. You know, it's like you're starting to think about that and get excited about it and go, oh, yeah, you know, there's going to be a break. Only it's not a 2-week vacation. It's the rest of your life vacation. Not that we're not going to be working.
But
Because
it'll
in the
be
new
fun
reality,
stuff,
you know,
though.
people will be working. It'll be very different. We won't be under the oppression. So things to look forward to. I encourage everybody, you know, to really explore your dreams. And if you don't think you have them, you can try. There's lots of stuff you can look online if you're interested, you know, to set your alarm or drink a whole lot of water so you have to get up and pee in the middle of the night so you wake up and have to remember, and you can remember. And then the number one thing is, like, start recording them, writing them down, or recording on a recording device with your voice, something so that because they go away so fast. And if you're in the middle of the night and you're going, whoa, what the hell was that? I'll remember that when I wake up in the morning. You won't. You know, so write this stuff down. It really starts developing those skills. And those are also skills that help you with telepathic communications and things like that.
Yeah, and the other thing is to make sure that your quality of sleep is there as well. So get your cell phones and all devices out of the bedroom. No television, no pads, no phones. Get them all out of your bedroom. Another thing I've heard has been very useful, I found it personally useful, is to have organite. I don't have one here. I've got another one here, which is shungite, which I got off a Russian site. Lots of people have...
Wow.
It is very pretty.
That's
I
a
really
big one.
like it. It is. And it's so cheap when you buy it from the Russian site. There's lots of people that import them into other countries, and then, of course, they bump the price up because you're paying twice the postage, once to get it to the person who's retailing it and then once to you. So just buy it direct from Russia. Much better place to get it.
Do you have a specific site that you'll link?
Yes, I can do that.
Lovely.
No problem. And organite is good too, yeah. I found that made a big difference to the quality of my sleep.
I have a beautiful big citron, which is good for pulling out negative energy, and my record keeper quartz. But I used to have a lot more crystals in my room, and I had to kind of get rid of them because it kind of Yeah, I was like,
woo, no sleep.
I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm moving you out to a display case in the living room. I can't have quite this much stuff here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And things like your diet and alcohol, things like that. Alcohol will screw up things as well. It makes it much harder to remember your dreams. So try and keep yourself clean as you in the last few hours of the day.
There you go. All right. Well, that was fun.
See you next week.
It's stuff that's fun for us. See you next time.
Bye.